Well, we've covered a number of egregious, highly questionable miscarriages of justice and bureaucratic nightmares here on the Lip News. This one has to be up there with the best of them. A Michigan couple are facing jail time after failing to return 2 library books on time. Joya, this is one of those arresting, forgive the pun, headlines. They took out 2 books. This is Cathy and Melvin Duren from Michigan, took out 2 library books. One was a Dr. Seuss book that they took out in July of 2014, and then the other book they took out was a book called The Rome Prophecy. They took out in April 2015. Dates are important. They lost the Dr. Seuss book. They misplaced the other book. They found the other book that they misplaced, returned it, but they were unable to return the Dr. Seuss book. And now, through a series of non-payments of fines, they could very well end up behind bars. The judges said that they're facing a charge of economic theft, and they are stealing rental property, and what they're faced with is 93 days in jail.
Economic theft. To me, it's like a perfect metaphor, allegory for the criminal justice system in America, because you're like, you've got these Wall Street bankers just destroying the American economy, and then you have 2 people renting a Dr. Seuss book, having to go to jail. It's just absurd.
So they paid the library fine. It's not for, just to be clear, it's not for non-payment of the fines. They paid the library fine, and then they paid for to have the book replaced, the volume replaced, the volume of Dr. Seuss work replaced. What they had a problem with was this diversion fee, which was being imposed by the Lenawee County Prosecutor's Crime Unit, which was part and parcel some form of as I said, court processing fee. They said, hang on a second, we've paid all our dues to the library, we've replaced the book, that's it, we're done. There's $105 per volume, so it's $210 we're talking about here. For that reason, they are potentially facing 93 days in jail. It's absolutely staggering. To your point, the world faced an economic crisis. Very few people actually were put to the sword for that. And yet here we have people here who didn't pay a library fine or lost a book, and they could face jail time. This is what Cathy Duren had to say on it. She said, I never thought a Dr. Seuss book would lead to this. Nothing was stolen. We checked out a book and lost it.
Yeah, I feel like that happens all the time. I mean, gosh, like nobody's checked out a Blockbuster when it was still alive. But people would check out videos, they lose them, whatever. It's just, to me, the resources wasted on this case, like the people, who are the sleuths that are getting to the bottom of this, right?
This seems like the sort of thing, this was what would happen to me. I would get tracked down. They would find me somehow. Something would happen. It's always those things. But you hear about these people getting away with virtually murder, or certainly getting away with grand larceny.
Yeah.
And we can't find them. We don't have the evidence. And yet here they are. They'll find me 5 years later. Yeah. Did you ever check out that book? In fact, I'm waiting for the knock on the door at 4 a.m. now from the library. I've probably still got library books out from my library back in England.
Were you at the library on January 21st? Yeah, exactly. This is silly.
Unbelievable. Silly. So I really hope that this doesn't happen to the Durens, but they took a stand and they feel they're being extorted by the prosecutor's office, which is why they're refusing to pay that amount of money. It probably will come to it that they probably won't actually do the jail time. They will probably have to just end up coughing up the fee. But really, this is overarching justice, overarching bureaucracy. The resources devoted to this are just ridiculous. And to your point, we've got bankers sitting in Wall Street, fat cat bankers, who just walk around scot-free. But woe betide, you don't return your library book, then we'll come after you and we'll get you. We're in the letter of law, you're nabbed.